To control the simulation, you must first let go. The world you see is not the world that is. This is not a riddle or a trick. It's a truth so profound that it slips through your fingers every time you try to grasp it. Have you ever had the feeling, even for a fleeting moment, that something about reality doesn't quite add up? A sudden sensation that the edges don't align, like an image just slightly out of focus. That's not your imagination. It's the simulation winking at you. What is the simulation? When we speak of the simulation, we are not necessarily referring to a computer program or a fabricated virtual world. The term points to a deeper truth about reality, the idea that what we perceive as life is a construct, a vast, interconnected system governed by unseen rules and patterns. This concept has parallels in many traditions. In Hindu philosophy, the Maya represents the illusion of reality, the veil that hides the ultimate truth. It represents the limited perception of those who have not yet seen the world as it truly is. In modern times, simulation theory, popularized by thinkers like Nick Bostrom, proposes that our reality could be an advanced simulation created by an intelligent source far beyond our comprehension. But whether you view it spiritually or scientifically, the key takeaway is this: what we perceive as reality is shaped by a framework. This framework is malleable, responding to our energy, thoughts, and beliefs. The world around you is not fixed. It is a living mirror, reflecting the inner workings of your consciousness. But how does the simulation work? The simulation operates through patterns, rhythms, and principles, what some might call universal laws. These laws govern the material and spiritual planes, creating the experiences we call life. Consider gravity, a force you cannot see but rely on. Similarly, the simulation operates with unseen forces like energy alignment, intention, and flow. At the core of the simulation is the principle of co-creation. Reality is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, sends ripples into the fabric of the simulation. It responds to these inputs like an artist following the strokes of a brush, shaping itself based on your inner state. The Zen koan, "The flag is not moving, the wind is not moving, your mind is moving," illustrates this. Your perception creates motion and meaning. Similarly, in the simulation, what you believe and focus on becomes your reality. This is why two people can experience the same event in completely different ways. Each is interacting with their personalized version of the simulation. But what if we aren't merely observers of the illusion? What if we are active participants, sculpting its every shape, yet blind to our own power? The illusion of control. The simulation is not your enemy. It is not some external machine grinding away while you try to survive within it. No, the simulation is you. Every fear, every hope, every decision you make feeds into reality. It responds, reflects, and reacts, shaping itself to match the vibrations of your inner world. But here's the paradox: the more you try to control it, the more it resists. While you shape reality with your energy, the act of clinging to control distorts the simulation's flow. When you try to micromanage every aspect of life, you restrict the possibilities that the simulation can offer. Like trying to calm a pool of water by pressing it down with your hands, the harder you push, the more chaos you create. Control, as you know it, is an illusion, and until you learn to release it, you will remain caught in a loop of frustration and powerlessness, mistaking the symptoms for the cause. From the moment you take your first breath, the world whispers to you that control is the key to life. Control your grades, your career, your relationships. Control your body, your emotions, your destiny. But have you ever stopped to wonder why so many who seem to have it all are still restless, still searching? They've mastered the art of controlling the external, yet their inner worlds remain turbulent, like a storm brewing beneath a calm surface. The Taoist philosopher Lao Tzu spoke of the way, a natural flow that underpins all existence. He taught that those who align themselves with this flow move effortlessly through life, like a river carving its path through stone. But what happens when you fight the current, desperate to steer it where you think it should go? You exhaust yourself, you drown in your own resistance. In the same way, the simulation cannot be manipulated by force. When you try to impose your will upon it, you create tension, discord, and unintended consequences. The harder you cling, the more the simulation mirrors your grasping, handing you a reality filled with obstacles and struggle. But here's the secret that sages, prophets, and enlightened ones have always known. True power comes not from holding tighter, but from letting go. To let go does not mean to give up. It is not passivity or defeat. It is an act of immense courage, a leap into the unknown, where you trust that the ground will rise to meet you. Letting go is the surrender of your limited perspective, your rigid expectations, your need to control every outcome. It is the recognition that you are not separate from the simulation, but a co-creator of its every movement. Consider the story of the Zen monk and the overflowing cup. A scholar, eager to learn the secrets of Zen, visited a master. The master poured tea into a cup until it overflowed, spilling onto the table. The scholar protested, "The cup is full, no more will go in." The master replied, "Like this cup, you are full of your own opinions and preconceptions. How can I teach you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" The simulation operates in much the same way. When you are filled with noise, fear, doubt, control, it cannot offer you clarity. Only when you create space, when you empty your cup, can the true nature of reality reveal itself to you. The role of faith. Faith is the bridge between letting go and understanding. Not faith in a specific deity or doctrine, but faith in the unseen, the vast intelligence that weaves every thread of existence. This faith is not blind. It is intuitive, a quiet knowing that stirs in your soul when you stand on the edge of uncertainty. Think of the mustard seed in the Bible, a symbol of small but unwavering faith. It is not the size of the seed that matters, but its potential to grow into something far greater than itself. When you release the need to control, you plant that seed within the simulation, trusting that it will bloom in ways you cannot yet imagine. Letting go is not a one-time act, but a practice, a muscle you strengthen through experience. Start small. The next time life throws you into chaos, pause. Feel the urge to react, to fix, to control. Instead, take a deep breath and step back. Observe. Notice how the simulation begins to shift when you stop forcing it. Every parable, every philosophy points to this truth. You cannot force the river to flow, but you can float upon it. You cannot dictate the wind, but you can adjust your sails. The simulation is not your adversary. It is your mirror, reflecting your deepest truths and fears. To let go is to reclaim your power, not by seizing it, but by realizing it was never outside you to begin with. This is only the beginning of the journey, but already the simulation stirs, waiting to respond to your next move. What will you choose? The mirror of the simulation. Imagine standing before a mirror, frustrated with the reflection. You wave your hands, shout, or try to manipulate the image, but nothing changes. The reflection isn't the problem, it's only responding to you. This is the paradox of the simulation. It does not impose itself on you, it reflects you. Every choice, every thought, every vibration of your being creates ripples that echo back as your reality. The simulation is not a fixed construct. It's fluid, responsive, and alive, shaped by forces both seen and unseen. Many have tried to define these forces: karma in Hinduism and Buddhism, the subconscious mind in psychology, or the law of attraction in New Age thought. But the essence is universal. The simulation is your co-creator, and its raw material is your energy. The mirror doesn't lie, it doesn't judge. It simply reflects, offering you a clear view of what you project into the world. This is why ignoring your inner state is futile. You might plaster on a smile, tell yourself you're fine, or try to suppress your fears, but the simulation sees through the facade. It responds to your true vibration, the one pulsing beneath the surface. Consider the biblical parable of the sower. Seeds that fall on rocky ground wither, while seeds sown in fertile soil thrive. Your inner state is the soil. If it's filled with doubt, fear, or resentment, the seeds of your desires struggle to grow. But when your soil is rich with trust, love, and surrender, the simulation mirrors this abundance back to you. The truth can be uncomfortable. If your life feels chaotic, it's not because the simulation is against you, it's because it's reflecting your chaos. If you feel stuck, it's not because the simulation is stagnant, it's responding to the walls you've built around yourself. This is not a punishment, but a gift, an invitation to look within and realign your energy. Many fall into the trap of blaming the simulation for their struggles. They see the reflection and curse it, trying to change the image without changing themselves. This cycle of blame creates resistance, and resistance is a powerful force. The more you resist, the more the simulation resists you. The Stoics, ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, understood this well. They taught that true freedom comes not from controlling external events, but from mastering your response to them. When you stop fighting reality and start accepting it, the simulation begins to soften, opening pathways you couldn't see before. Acceptance does not mean resignation. It means understanding that the simulation is always working for you, even when it feels like it's working against you. Each challenge, each setback, is a lesson, a reflection of something within you that needs healing or growth. The role of emotions. Emotions are the language of the simulation. They are not mere reactions, but signals, guiding you toward alignment or warning you of disconnection. Joy, gratitude, and peace indicate that you are in harmony with the flow. Fear, anger, and despair are signs that you're out of sync. This doesn't mean you should suppress negative emotions or chase positive ones. Both are necessary, like the ebb and flow of the tide. The key is to observe your emotions without becoming enslaved by them. When you feel anger, ask what it's reflecting. When you feel joy, let it expand without clinging to it. The Buddha spoke of the middle way, a path of balance between indulgence and denial. This applies to your emotional state as well. By neither suppressing nor overindulging in your emotions, you allow them to guide you without overwhelming you. To truly see the simulation for what it is, you must cultivate stillness. The world is loud, and your mind is louder still. It's filled with plans, worries, and judgments, all of which cloud your ability to perceive the simulation's subtle movements. Stillness is not the absence of thought, but the space between thoughts. It's the moment when you pause, breathe, and allow the noise to settle. In this space, the simulation reveals itself. Think of a pond stirred by wind. As long as the surface is agitated, the reflection is distorted. But when the wind dies down, the water becomes a perfect mirror. Meditation, mindfulness, or simply sitting in silence can calm the winds of your mind, allowing you to see the simulation with clarity. The mystics of every tradition understood this. The Sufis whirl in ecstatic dance, not to escape reality but to align with it. The Christian mystic Meister Eckhart spoke of the silent desert within, where God's voice can be heard. The Zen master watches the leaf fall, finding eternity in its descent. Surrender is the ultimate act of courage. It's not giving up, but giving in, yielding to the flow of the simulation and trusting that it knows the way, even when you don't. This is not blind faith, but an active partnership. You set your intentions, plant your seeds, and then release your grip, trusting the simulation to do its part. The story of Job in the Bible is often misunderstood as a tale of suffering, but at its core, it's a story of surrender. When Job stopped demanding answers and opened himself to the vastness of the divine plan, he was restored, not because he fought, but because he let go. Surrender doesn't mean passivity. It means acting with intention while releasing attachment to the outcome. It's the archer who draws the bow with focus, but releases the arrow with trust. The simulation is always inviting you deeper, challenging you to see beyond the surface, to recognize the mirror for what it is. Each moment, each interaction is an opportunity to shift your vibration, to realign with the flow, to co-create a reality that reflects your highest self. Letting go is not a destination but a practice, a path you walk every day. As you learn to release control, to observe without judgment and to act with trust, you will find that the simulation begins to align with you, not because you forced it, but because you surrendered to it. This is the heart of the paradox. To control the simulation, you must first let go. Only then will you see the reflection change, not as an act of manipulation, but as a natural extension of your being. The infinite dance of creation. Now that we have explored the nature of the simulation and the power of surrender, it's time to confront the final, most profound aspect of this reality, creation. Understanding that you are not a passive participant, that the simulation responds to your energy, means you are always in the act of co-creating your reality. But this power comes not from domination or control, but from harmony, from your ability to be in tune with the rhythm of the universe itself. Creation is not one of separation, but of unity. You are not controlling the simulation as a master directs a puppet. You are becoming the simulation, embodying its pulse, its flow, its ever-shifting form. This is where true mastery lies, not in bending the world to your will, but in aligning yourself so deeply with it that you and the world are one. Creation is constant. It is the beating of your heart, the rising and setting of the sun, the birth of stars and the decay of worlds. It is the breath of life itself. Everything is in a perpetual state of becoming, constantly transforming, evolving and shifting. But often we try to resist this flow, clinging to the past or worrying about the future. When you focus on control, you fixate on what is already gone or yet to come, forgetting that the present moment is where creation occurs. Think of a river. You can try to dam it, to control its flow, but no matter how hard you try, it will eventually find its way around the obstacles. It will shift its course, carve new paths, and continue its journey to the sea. You are the river. The simulation is the river, and the more you learn to trust the flow of life, the more effortlessly you will be swept along with grace and purpose. The key to this flow is flexibility, the ability to adjust your course without forcing it, to move with the current rather than against it. The Taoist concept of Wu Wei teaches us that the most powerful way to influence the world is through effortless action, through aligning yourself with the natural flow of things. It's not about forcing outcomes, but being responsive to the rhythm of life, acting in harmony with it without clinging or resisting. The process of letting go is not a one-time event, nor is it a linear path. It's a constant practice, a process of becoming aware of where your ego is holding on, where you are still trying to control. Each time you let go, a new layer of resistance is revealed, and you must surrender it again. But with each letting go, you come closer to the truth of who you are. Consider the story of the lotus flower. It grows from the mud, but it does not cling to it. It rises above the water, its petals unfolding effortlessly as it reaches for the sun. The lotus does not struggle to rise. It simply grows, naturally and with grace. You too are a lotus. The mud of your fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs cannot hold you if you allow yourself to grow and unfold. You will rise above it all when you stop holding on to the past, when you stop trying to control what is beyond your reach. In every moment, you are presented with an opportunity to let go. In every thought, every feeling, there is a choice to cling or to release. The more you release, the more you step into your true power. The more you let go, the more the simulation reflects your authenticity, drawing into your life what you need most. One of the greatest challenges in letting go is the uncertainty that comes with it. When you stop controlling, when you allow the simulation to unfold without interference, you enter the unknown, and the unknown is both exhilarating and terrifying. Yet, It is in the mystery of life that the most profound answers lie. This is where faith and trust are truly tested. When you let go, you must trust that the simulation is not against you, that the universe is not conspiring to hurt you. In fact, it is working with you, weaving the fabric of your reality with infinite wisdom. The universe is not random or chaotic. It is a perfectly ordered system, guided by laws that we may not fully understand, but that we can trust. As you release control and step into the flow of creation, you may face moments of doubt. The path may seem unclear, the next step uncertain, but it is in those moments that the universe is teaching you the most. It is showing you the limits of your control and inviting you to expand beyond them. It is challenging you to trust that you are always supported, always guided, and that you are not alone in this journey. The power of your intention. While the path of surrender is about letting go of control, it is not about abandoning intention. Your intention is your compass, your guiding star, showing you where to go. It is the seed you plant in the soil of the simulation, setting the direction for the unfolding of your life. But once you've planted that seed, you must let go of the need to dictate how and when it will grow. This is where the art of co-creation comes into play. You set the intention and then you trust the simulation to take care of the details. You don't have to force the seed to sprout. You simply water it, nurture it, and let the earth do its work. The same applies to your dreams and desires. Once you've set your intention, release the need for control. Allow the universe to bring it to you in its own time, in its own way. The Buddha once said, "What you think, you become." Your thoughts are the architects of your reality, but the thoughts that come from a place of control are like architects trying to design a building from a place of fear. When you let go, your thoughts become clear, focused, and filled with purpose. They no longer come from a place of need or desperation, but from a deep knowing that what is meant for you will find its way to you. In the end, the greatest freedom lies in letting go. The more you release, the more you experience life as a flow, an unfolding, an adventure. When you stop trying to control, you begin to experience life's true magic, the synchronistic moments, the serendipitous encounters, the divine timing that guides you even when you can't see the path ahead. This is not to say that you should live passively, waiting for life to happen to you. No, you are still an active participant, a co-creator. But you are creating in harmony with the simulation, not against it. You are working with life, not trying to impose your will on it. And in doing so, you will find that the simulation, this creation, becomes effortless, joyful, and abundant. The truth of it all is simple. The more you let go, the more you control. And in this control, there is no force, no manipulation. There is only grace, alignment, and trust in the flow of the infinite dance of creation. Now, as you stand on the edge of this journey, ask yourself, what are you ready to let go of? What control are you willing to release? Because only by surrendering will you unlock the deepest power within you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.